only indicator we know is the Shadow Fiend, that Armel has played SF before in the tournament, but outside of that, Lesh is a new hero for them. And also, so is the Omni Knight. Fnatic has mostly opted to play with Marcy Enigma, Hoodwink Enigma, Hoodwink Visage, Marcy Visage. These are the duos they've been looking at. Maybe the DP added into the mix in a few games as well. So Omni Knight for protection for Shadow Fiend or Lesh or Marcy, whoever are going to be the cores in the team. I think this is a great addition because it's a Bane counter. It removes the silence from DP. It helps you work if the Earth Spirit is causing you trouble.
This Omni Knight pick is so good. Really, going into the backlines for Execration is very tough. You're going into an SF, into a Lesh. There's a lot of damage. And Lesh, the only thing that this hero needs is save. He needs to be healed up. SF, you could kind of put him in the same category, but he's probably going to be farming a little bit more, at least in the early game, while the Lesh is pushing towers. And that's where the Omni Knight comes in. He secures the lane for the SF, and then he secures the early mid game for Lesh. And it makes the game or Execration very hard. You can remove the Magnetize, you can remove the silence, and the most important thing of all, you can remove the Fiend's Grip as well with the Heavenly Grace. So overall, an awesome pick for Omni Knight Execration. They go for a TA, which is good with their draft, but that's where the Guardian Angel comes in.
Yeah, TA doesn't really have straight up synergy except for the lockdown that's provided by their team. So they don't have any extra physical damage amplifier currently in the team. Maybe through items, maybe the Earth Spirit could build like a medallion. You don't get to see Solar Crest these days, which would have otherwise been a great addition with the Templar Assassin. You don't really have a hero for it either. Maybe the healing can be reduced with the Spirit Vessel. If the Earth Spirit builds Vessel, for example, that can help the TA dish out more reliable damage onto Fnatic's targets. But outside of that, Fnatic has a very stable draft, even with this TA pick coming from Execration.
For sure. I'm going to assume that this is going to be a safe lane TA, because Palos does play it quite a lot. But on the other hand, I'd be okay with the mid TA, just because I think when the Lesh moves from the mid lane, if he is in the mid lane, you need someone that is going to be able to take the tower fast. That is the thing, because Execration, I don't really see them fighting into a Lesh Omni Knight early game. So I would like them to be able to threaten towers on the other parts of the map. And with the TA in the mid lane and the Death Prophet in the off lane, you can do just that.
You definitely can. Last picks coming in. Fnatic only got a couple seconds remaining, and they're going to bring up the Primal Beast. As we have seen before, Armel has played it in mid, and we've also seen a support Primal Beast and an off lane. But for Fnatic, it has been played by DJ or Armel. But I think this is a DJ hero if we've got an Omni Knight support, meaning that should be a carry Shadow Fiend, an offlane Marcy, and a mid Shrek, if I'm reading this right.
I'd rather see an offlane Primal Beast, to be honest, rather than the offlane Marcy. In this instance, you know, I'd let the DJ play the Marcy, allow him to rotate into the mid lane with the Lesh, allow Jabs to play the Primal Beast to actually be the strong fat one that is going to be going in. Okay, I think that's the right approach from Fnatic here.
I can see that working. I prefer the Marcy mainly because of the itemization way. Plus the lane is so much better, I think, for Marcy compared to the Primal Beast against the TA. If TA is going to be the if it's going to be the carry. If it does end up being a lane swap, like if Execration decides to pick carry now and put Templar into mid, that could swap things around a little bit. And the Marcy itemization is, I think, really handy, destroying the refraction charges mostly. And you add in that extra batch, so TA can't blink away while refraction is still running. And also that heavy damage that you can just basically nuke the supports. Primal Beast can then disrupt the TA, for example, in the fights, or keep the DP at bay while the rest of the Fnatic lineup is running them out. So yeah, I can see both versions kind of working here.
Right now, Execration, they need burst magic damage. That is what you need. Someone needs to die on the side of Fnatic before the Omni Knight can react. I think that's the main thing. Earth Spirit can maybe catch the Omni Knight in the backlines during the silence, but someone has to die. Queen of Pain is in the pool. might be a way to go, considering you have an Earth Spirit. Having someone that is going to be able to pressure is quite nice. Execration, they have another option to go for an offlaner, but I think, yeah, they'll go for the mid laner, or at least might be an offlaner as well. Nah, it's going to be a mid lane OD, and it is heavy damage. Also, does go through the
Yeah.
Guardian Angel, so overall is a pretty decent pick.
It is. And Armel's going mid-primal, and offlane Lesh is going to be against the TA. So that also works for Fnatic. They could flex them around. They waited for Execration to pick their heroes until they're like, okay, we're going to set our lanes like this, and we're happy with the outcome.
Yeah, but a mid lane melee hero against the OD is something that I'm not sure that I want to see. I like the OD pick. I think you could go for a Meteor Hammer build. I'd be okay with it for sure. I'd be okay with a like a Hurricane Pike as well. But a Meteor Hammer is quite nice. There isn't much to save you other than, of course, the Heavenly Grace, but also will help you with those tower pushes that I kind of think are going to be very important for Execration, at least in terms of trading them.
I really like this mid-primal, mainly because of the early timings again. So just like the Marcy, if Marcy were to be a core, the BKB timer that you can hit on pretty early, the active presence on ganking side lanes, that's a big threat for TA, for example, in the lane, and also for the DP, which are heroes that you can definitely punish and kill early on with the Primal Beast rotating, because you hear the sound cue, but you're still most of the time getting surprised because you're like, okay, which one of us is he going to jump this time? And I think that's a surprise element that Fnatic can work on. But that being said, I'm going to go with Fnatic on this draft. I feel like before the TA pick came out, Fnatic was in a huge advantage in the draft, and I suspect the top dogs of the group to continue rocking their numbers.
I definitely agree. I think that this game is going to be very hard for Execration. You could get to a point where Bob is very annoying if he would, let's say, have an axe and stuff like that, but you do not have that initial burst hero. Maybe when DOD has the ulti, but it is a very big cooldown to rely on, and Fnatic, you have to kill some of their heroes. If you don't, the damage will be overwhelming. Primal Beast, Lesh, and the SF, everybody dies to these guys.
Yep. Death is inevitable, at least in some cases. We're doing, again, the Fnatic balloon train into the mid lane. We've seen this a few times. Also,
Party.
It has been a bit of a interrupter at some events. We saw this big balloon fight going on in the river, and people were missing spells because of it. So added extra confusion. Dota players ain't used to, having fun. Not always. Not always. I'm not going to say they never have fun. Dota's a game of fun.
Jax is taking a lot of damage.
God, I really hope this match ends up
So is Tino. Tino is forced away completely. Fnatic are going to be taking 3 of the bounties. With this trading coming out from Raven and Jonuel.
And Shanxi does have 6 tangos, or had 6 tangos, but still, that's a lot of region that you're gonna go through. I really like that Raven started off with the raises, because that is the thing you can threaten both the Earth Spirit and the Death Prophet with. They can't really get too close.
They want to do it again. They're coming in from the side right away to get more raises squeezed in between. Just waiting to see if maybe Shanks is there, but Raven's finally gonna run into the lane as Januel is keeping their attention busy. I love how Raven is playing this. Like, basically, there's a constant raise, threat, and fear kicking in. They are getting denied out of creeps. They didn't get a single one. Raven's going to deny 3 out of the creep wave. Just enjoying life.
Very good approach
Marcy
to the lane
on the top lane. Abang gonna get tossed by DJ, and Jabs looking for the kill with a stun. It will connect onto the Bane, and Jabs for the first blood of the game as well for Fnatic.
I mean, this top lane of Fnatic is very, very strong. Even if you would struggle in the mid lane, I think it is worth it. Anyone who gets caught just dies. And yeah, luckily for Pelos, there's going to be a bit of a stun miss there from Jabs. Lesh, not really the stable offlane hero right now, so he might need some time to get into it.
They did hurt Palos at least a lot here. He is down to 130 HP. DJ salved up, juking in the trees, back to full HP. Jabs has full control of the lane. does really roll down to this mid lane. Primal Beast already starting with 4 denies against Bob. Bob has also denied 4 creeps while the prisons have been applied. The big benefit here for Armel is his high right-click damage.
Armel is still doing well. Obviously, with more levels on the OD, it's gonna be easier for him to last hit or pressure the Primal Beast, depending on what you want to go for. But if you go for the Astral Imprisonment, you will be getting more of the CS, despite the high damage of the Primal Beast.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend doubling the CS compared to Tino. Tino is not having the greatest time of his life here in this lane at these early levels. Januel has been doing a lot of good work, but then again, they caught Abeng. Level 1 Bane, no challenge. Palos going to get jumped on as well by DJ. Jabs to add in a couple extra jabs in between.
SF?
They're actually dotting the SF. Oh, they are. Yep, they're going to get Tino. Sorry, they're going to get Raven for Tino. Shanks should, by the looks of it, be okay as Januel is trying to get closer. Cooldown on all of his spells.
Now there's action on top. It's not stopping at all.
Don't stop coming. Salve up though. Abang gonna get stunned up with the jump from DJ. Making that another kill going their way. That's 3 for Fnatic. Pretty early on in this game.
What have we here?
Yeah, they're doing really well. At least the SF died. That's a big one for Execration in a lane where they were being kind of threatened so much. They did manage to get the kill. So that's pretty good.
Palos
really
does
big,
get
though,
tossed once again. DJ just doing absolute havoc, and this is what I was afraid of for Execration, that this Marcy is going to be a massive problem, and it is. Fnatic making it 4 and killing the first time of the Templar Assassin. Jabs is now 3-0-1, and look at the CS. TA has 6 last hits and getting killed. This is really rough for Execration.
it is still a hero that can come back, so you know Palos doesn't feel too good about this. But you can see now what the DJ is doing. He just goes into the jungle to secure. There are no stacks, so Palos cannot come back into this one.
Yeah. Nightmare has been burnt on the Lesh. They do a decent amount of damage on the Jabs. He also has the headrest, so he will regenerate pretty well. Palos is level 3. 1 point on every ability. That might just start to be the turning point here for Palos.
The big thing is Fnatic now have the arcane boots in this lane. It's gonna be a lot easier to hunt.
It is indeed. 1 stun into another stun. Tossing Abang into the arms of Jabs for a 4th kill. This Bane TA lineup is not as strong as the Marcy Lesh. I'm not saying it's working, I'm just saying it's very difficult for them. And Shanks is going to go down to the bot lane. Raven with the connections from the raises. Jonuel is going to get right-clicked by Tino, and the Siphon's going to be doing a lot of work, but the tower is more focused on the creeps instead of the DP, so Raven's going to let him slide this time.
At least there's a turnaround kill, but
And
this
again,
time around Raven.
nope, okay, nothing here to see. Except the
the
TP
DPs
rotation
might be-
coming in. Marcy is going to be taking the Nightmare off. Earth Spirit rolling in. DJ is low, and Shanks will be there, but the Brain Sap is there to finish off DJ. Apping now hitting level 3, 2 points in the Brain Sap. Does a lot of damage.
Shanks was waiting there to catch the ledge because they saw that the Marcy was still gonna die, and then he guessed wrong. But immediately going for a fight in the mid lane, we'll see who comes out ahead there.
He knows the prison is on cooldown on Bob, and that's a kill. What a beautiful play from Armel and Januel as they both basically just read, okay, the prison has been popped. Armel charges in. Omni Knight walks already towards the OD. And they can drop that heal bomb on top of, look at that trample damage. 45 each. Just the base damage.
Shanks feels really bad right now. He went to the top lane, accomplished nothing, then ran to the mid lane and was like 2-3 seconds late. Yeah. And I think it's Bob making a mistake using the Astral Imprisonment, knowing that he might actually die. With now having the OD in the mid lane and not the TA, Armel can do whatever he wants, and what he wants is to kill the bottom.
Yeah, going in for another one. Tino down. Armel for the 2nd kill. Now he is TPing all the way back to base. Regenerate up. And we do not know where he's going to be showing up for the next time. Is he going to target Palos? Is he going to go back to mid? We will Only know in just a little bit. Shanks tries to cliff the Omni Knight. Just a couple pixels short.
Perfect timing.
I'm very afraid for Execration. I don't know how they respond. On every lane, a kill could happen. I think just going on Raven and just running onto the
Bob
SF
again.
is the best thing.
Does get the prison off this time. Oh, they got the ward out. Top lane. Jabs. Solo kill on TA almost. Also has to be very careful. Abang is tanking a lot of hits from these pulses.
He's alone and he's bullying them.
Yeah. And like you talked about them having those mana boots early on, this the sustain is pretty crazy for this Leshrac. Momentarily, there was a triple net worth lead on all the cores for Fnatic. DP only has a couple gold more than the Primal Beast does, who has really ramped up his game since those 2 quick rotations. Maybe sacrificing a bit of CS, but it is helping out the side lanes. Lesh is by far the biggest winner right now, and you look at TA's net worth, 1,000 gold behind, 7 minutes in against his lane counterpart.
These guys are having fun, though we cannot understand them. That's a bit of an issue. Maybe we'll get a translation in the chat.
Yeah,
so that we can have fun as well.
Chat will know.
Can have fun, for sure.
Yeah, we're not in East Europe anymore, where we know exactly what's going on. Meanwhile, Prison is going to be there. Lesh is going to get taken down by Bob as the Prison ends, and DJ for a double kill. Abang at least gets to squeeze in the right click before that is to happen, and the neutrals don't get to deny either.
Nice rotation from Bob. A bit of a mistake from Fnatic. You're playing against the OD, who is going for the right-click build with tunnels. He's missing off the map, and you die. The only thing that he could be doing is ganking. There's no way that this OD is farming jungle.
The rolling coming in as DJ crosses Tino. Quick work. Quick work like clockwork as Fnatic knowing what to do here for a quick DP kill. That's gonna be a bit frustrating as well, because you're like, well, I didn't even get to react and I'm already dead.
Execration need to find a way to pressure the bottom tower. They will be getting level 6 on the Death Prophet soon, but you will need more heroes. So maybe make a rotation to the top lane, force out some TPs, and then strike on the bottom. That is something that you'll have to do in this one, because this bottom tower, it needs to die for the OD to go for kills and for the TA to have enough armor on the map.
Bane just found the ward for free, walked into tower range for it, and now in the bottom lane, Raven, low on HP, tower will finish him off. He will soak up the roll from the Earth Spirit, so DJ has a chance to disengage. Omni Knight will end up dropping dead after this prison ends, making it another one for Bob. That's his second kill of the game. Important ones as well, because they did kill the carry. Raven, he's now last in net worth out of the cores, but only small margins. And that's a pretty good recovery from Execration in the last 2 minutes, because considering they were very far behind. Look at where TA is now. And maybe if they can get this Armel kill even, that would put Palos maybe almost in top.
They're close,
but they won't get close enough.
That move from Fnatic on the bottom lane, that was a let's win the game now at 9 minutes in. And a pretty risky move. And it didn't pay off, obviously, because they lost heroes. This might actually allow Execration to get the bottom tower easier than what they were expecting.
Charging from Armel, finding Bane. Person to find as well. Palos won't be taking any damage. Extras here with the Refraction, soaking up all of those hits. Tino Exorcism at the bot lane. They want to take this tower, at least do a heavy amount of damage to it with this. Catapult wave is still quite far away.
There are only 2 there. There could be mass TPs from Fnatic, but they're showing on the top lane. Yeah, only level 2 in the Diabolic Edict. This bottom tower for Execration, if it falls, they should be happy with the trade.
They're TPing in. This is taking way too long for just the TP, and here goes DJ into the tower range, and that is going to be Death Prophet losing a lot of HP. Roll misses from Shanks, and here comes Armel to the rescue. They want to clear it out quickly as possible. DP healing up from the Exorcism. The Siphon still keeping him alive with the prison, and Bob coming in with a massive hammer, and now looking for their Primal Beast as well. Needs one more good orb, and the Crypt Swarm. Shanks is going to get it with the Urn Tick, and it backfires for Fnatic. They cannot kill
Jono
Tino.
up.
And we'll get an extra on top with this Omni Knight falling to the Fiend script of Abeng, and Execration bites back.
Man, Fnatic, they did everything well in terms of macro play, and then they miss. And I have to say, you know, DJ and Jabs, they've been missing these tosses into stuns quite a lot. I think Jabs is like, don't toss him back, don't toss him back, I'm gonna stun, then you do it. And DJ is like, I just want to use all of my spells at the start. And because the stun of the Lesh misses, the DP doesn't die, and you lose a fight plus the tower.
Yep.
Beautiful for Execration.
And a nice silence coming in from Tino as well. Abeng on the other side with the Nightmare. Januel able to get the Heavenly Grace onto Marcy, so Execration will not jump it. That's a couple hits to the tower at least. It does do a decent amount of work, but Raven, he's got his Mask of Madness. Gonna start farming up and activate with this Shadow Fiend step by step. Yasha is up next on the shopping list. DD rune on the top half of the map. That might just be given to nobody. Abeng decides to deny. No core nearby.
Two mistakes from Fnatic put him in a position where they're not comfortable in this game any longer, and it looked for a second that the Execration might not even be allowed to play. One macro mistake going for the tower in the bottom lane, one micro while defending the bottom tier 1. So now Fnatic, they're going for a smoke to try to change something, but this should be easily read. You can see that Bob is already using a scan.
Scan will pop, and Bob is going to be safe with it. Radiant scan will not find anybody. They can't quite see the OD either, except behind the tower. And Tino calls for a pause. Time to grab a quick breather. Internet issues have been demonizing us today.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, hopefully everything is fine, but Execration, man, they're in such a good spot right now. Fnatic, they have two parts of the map to play, the bottom and the top. If they go top, Palace is going to be bottom. If they are bottom, Palace will be top. And either way, because the map is open, now the TA can farm. But the main thing also, if the TA claims the bottom part of the map, then the Earth Spirit and the OD can go for kills once that Witchblade is up. Execration, they have everything working for them right now, and that's why Fnatic are just they're grasping for straws. They need to stop this momentum, and that's why they're gonna be going for smokes.
Yeah. Even if these smokes do allow Fnatic to make some moves, it feels like Execration isn't giving them too many openings to actually profit from these smoke ganks. So if they start to increase in number for later on in the part of the game where TA is closing up on the power spike, Execration's importance of dodging smokes or turning them to their advantage as Fnatic's running at them would be down to how strong this TA is going to be at the point. I mean, I'm going super cryptical with this, but my main point is the TA power spike is important for Execration, and they need to hit that timing. There, I've said it. I've got it out of my body. Bob gonna get the prison out just in time before the Marcy able to get the dodge. The jump in. And taking a heavy amount of damage with the Nightmare also in. Taken out, though. And Execration with this rotation here to save Bob. Going to be fending off the Fnatic invaders from their tier 1 tower.
They went for a smoke. They don't want to stay there for long, and they're actually going to be catching Fnatic on the retreat or just catching the SF isolated. This is a really good move from Execration, and the fast one at that.
Rotation coming in. Raven unable to get the Requiem out of time. Fiend Script's going to be there as well. Shadow Fiend to fall. And even Jabs teleporting in. Not going to get targeted by Execration right away, at least. They have the glyph to keep this exorcism from doing too much at the start of the fight. Shadow Fiend's going to be up in 15 seconds. Fnatic still looking to stay around and stick around in the area. Apollo's in the front line. And here's the roll-in from Shanks. Beautiful catch, but the Heavenly Grace just in between. And Marcy's already nightmared as she jumps in. Another roll-in from Shanks at the same time. They're still healing up DJ. And here comes Armel coming in for the backup for the team as they're going to take down this DP, but the tower is not gonna fall into the arms of Execration. Armel just in time to fend them away. Now turning their attention towards the other tower.
It's gonna be Fnatic going for the tower, and considering they still have a ward active on the side of Execration's triangle, they might actually go for a play. Luckily for Execration, there is a little bit of a mana problem from Jabs, but overall a pretty good response from Fnatic. I really don't know why Execration dove there. That was a mistake. They could have just taken a tower, went back, and would be happy with it.
Shanks is going for a straight up BKB on the Earth Spirit. He knows his role is playing a big role this game.
BKBs are gonna be huge on both sides. The biggest one, I think Armel, once he gets his BKB, can actually go in without much fear.
Roll in onto Armel. They've got the grip for the silence. Kick misses. Very speedy boy. They're still going to go for him. There's a lot of people coming in. Armel going to charge out. Running well there with the heals. Omni Knight is always there when you need some backup, but it looked like the Primal Beast was completely fine. Just juking abilities, walking away.
Jabs has the Guardian Greaves. Considering the heroes he's playing against, the Dispel is going to be very big this game. I really like the decision, and also the extra armor against the TA is going to make a big difference. The question is, can he get out right now because he's being hunted?
Looks like he is, but Abang, is he going to be as lucky? Armel's going to be there. The Nightmare should at least... He's just walking past them. So they have information about the activity here, and now gets the jump onto the Bane. So he waits his sweet time. Ulti gets cancelled by just a simple silence from Tino. Tossed onto the lower ground. DJ will follow him through with the Unleash and take one down. Jabs, he's got Shanks. Shanks is trying to make a roll for it. Armel walking onto the high ground, blocks the roll, but he gets kicked down to the lower ground. He charges back in. You thought you got rid of me? No, sir.
You get kicked, you run back immediately. You don't want to stop fighting. This is the thing. All of this happened because Execration dove that tower in the mid lane. It created a chain of events, and that ward that expired in the triangle for Fnatic, it gave them some info. You could see that they were even happy to give away a ward of the Omni Knight to get immediately dewarded just for that fight.
Yeah. Bob was teleporting bottom as he was suspecting Bane to be able to catch the Primal Beast, and now he's able to
got him.
A catch onto him, but has to let him slide. Meanwhile, Fnatic inside the Roche Pit. 2 points in presence of the Dark Lord for the minus armor. Marcy's there with the sidekick buffs. Jabs with the extra burst. And this is gonna go down for free. Shanks has no idea.
Yeah, Execration, they thought they forced out TPs on the Primal Beast when they went for the sleep, and Ebang went out. They could have gone for that kill, but you never know. And it was the worst possible situation for Execration, because Fnatic, when they enter the Roche Pit at that point, when you think that they're rotating to save their buddy, you're never gonna be there in time.
And Shanks is now gonna walk into John Newell and Raven right next to him. Downside is that the only stuns on their team are not present. Lash is also a bit too far away from this one. And Primal Beast, basically 400 gold short from a BKB. He can't die now. Just
Those were
use this
successfully
charge.
forced out.
Yeah, yeah.
TPs.
And they thought they went there as well because Shanks just walks into the Omni Knight again. Jabs turns his attention towards him, but they have a ward. So they see he's walking in. TP coming in from the Bane towards the Shadow Fiend. And here comes Bob again. Wherever the Bane is, there's also a Bob. Bob the Bane.
Primal Beast has BKB and the Boots of Travels. This is not a good fight for Execration right now.
Primal Beast is teleported into mid. He sees Palos, but they see him. They see the TA. They've got Raven here. Raven trying to kick a fight for it with the Aegis. Bob is already down to half HP. Marcy does a lot of work here again. The Nightmare does connect just on time. Shanks is going to be there in the front. DJ looking for the toss. Doesn't quite get it onto Shanks here. Almost lifting up that big boulder onto her strong arms. Palos is here. Armel, look at Armel.
The chase is on.
Look at where he's coming from. If they keep on giving vision, Jabs is ready for Arma's going away, and they're still chasing. He needs to teleport as soon as possible. He's got 2 seconds cooldown. Beautiful Requiem from Raven. Does connect onto Shanks. Tino has the BKB, fighting for his life. Bang down. Arma's here as well. Bang, bang, bang. TA taking a massive pummeling. Palos down. Double for Armel. They might have killed DJ, but they've lost big cores, and even Tino hiding in the tree. Silence on the Primal Beast. What you gonna do? Teleport away? It's gonna do exactly that.
Bob should be able to get out of this one.
Bob is fine, yeah. 1 for 3.
It was a good choice to start chasing when they saw that Armel TP'd into the mid lane, but so much time passed and Execration still continued to go forward. You're going into the Aegis, you're going to a fresh BKB, and at some point Fnatic are gonna turn and Execration hard commit to a fight. That is why there has to be a point when you say this is the line, we go back right now. Execration didn't have it, that's why they lost.
A lot of difficulties going their way. SNK lined up for Armel. They see an Abeng. He could just charge in and grab the Bane. Bane is just waiting, like, come at me, bruh. Won't get the chance and doesn't have the need for it. Palos takes the mid-tier 1 tower. That is going to help Execration with their later Roshan contesting fights. No TP for Fnatic into the mid-tower to TP2. Rip on SF doesn't really do much here. He's just going to continue hitting this tower down. Doesn't have the 15 talent, but it doesn't matter. This tower is still very soft in the arms of Raven.
This is very big that they're taking this tower down. As soon as Execration opened up the mid lane tower for them to have some access to the second Roche, Fnatic, they used the first Aegis to get the top tower down. And that's going to make it very easy for them to contest next Roche.
Big target here for Armel. Pops the BKB. Doesn't want Bob to prevent this DP from getting away from the arms of Armel and looking for the Requiem. Doesn't even need a DP. Pops the BKB for a teleport away, but the regen is just not enough anymore. Might have done the trick a couple of times, but not this time. Abeng getting hit by Armel, and look at the damage that this Primal Beast is doing against this Bane. That's a pretty squishy target anyway. Jabs looking for the
nice
TP, canceling stun, and almost makes his way out.
Reduce to your elements.
That's it's very hard right now for Execration. Shanks even smoked them. I'm not sure what Execration would want to do. They have a Blink Dagger on OD. They want to catch the side of Fnatic off guard when the Aegis is expiring.
Looking at Armel in mid, he's got no BKB, he's just gone.
Nicely done.
That's a very good pickoff for them. I mean, it is on Primal Beast gone, who is the biggest of their issues. Fnatic. Jab still has Guardian Greaves. Some bit of damage, pops the heal right away. DJ is going to be coming as well. Shanks rolling away. Bob going for the aggressive blink in, and they're going to turn around. They're not going to run away at all. They're going to take him down. He's down to 200 HP. No blink dagger available. Raven for the long range raise. Long range raise for the kill. Cuts down Bob's dominating spree. So were you saying Fnatic were bailing or Execration was bailing?
Execration should bail. I said Execration should bail. They got a little bit too confident because of the BKB of the TA. But,
oh man, that was a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Execration have smoked up. They want to increase the ante. Keep up to this good pace that they've been holding on to.
They need the top part of the map. I like what they're doing right now. SF could fall easily here.
Could. No defensive capabilities. Towers there. Fiend Script's coming out. Instant TP. It is from the Marcy. Marcy's not going to make it in time, though. Gets the cancel onto Bane, but there's the damage kicking in. And here with the Leshrac. And my screen is frozen for a second, but we're back in. BKB from Palos turning around. Trying to do some damage onto the Leshrac. Leshrac getting a couple pummels here. Side blades only hitting onto the creep wave because DJ was fearful for his life here. Silence comes out. There's another jump in. Here comes Armel. Ready for the fight. TP's in. BKB up. The presence safe for the time being. And Bane just gone. Instantly gone from the fight. Jabs charging in. He's doing a lot of work here in the middle of all of them. TA with the refraction, just able to get it off. Tino also in the middle of the fight with the exorcism. Shanks misses the roll, and he's not going to get another chance until now. Palos, 500 HP. Bob is coming back in. They were now there. Now it's Fnatic on the run. Armel raiding in the trees. Is there a chance for him to go in because they're missing the SF? SF has actually respawned now, and he's going straight to mid. Execration is disengaged from this fight. Very big battle there in the top lane, but it's only the Shadow Fiend for the Bane.
Awesome footwork from both teams, understanding the limits of their heroes perfectly, going in and out. Dino with an exorcism being active for the entirety of the fight, they don't get a single kill. But boy, this Jabs Lesh with an axe, with the nihilism, is creating so many problems for Palos. If he had his full mana when that fight started on Jabs, I mean, Execration would be in so much trouble, but luckily for them, Jabs was lacking a bit of it.
Only 1,000 gold difference between the two. Shanks is to be careful here, with Fnatic again taking control of the outpost and the top half of the map. Mel is almost finished building an E-Blade. Just the recipe short. Doesn't go for KNS. Instead, just the E-Blade.
When Palos doesn't have a BKB, he's not going to be able to play the game. There's going to be an E-Blade, there's going to be a Nihilism, there's going to be Fears, Stuns. He won't be able to do anything. So Execration, they have to find the perfect angle to jump in. That's why I didn't like DOD. You need to destroy a hero at the start.
And the TP's onto Palos right away. He gets the blink to safety. Armel going to get hit by the trap. Jay hit by another trap. So they are just slowed up as that tower ends up dropping. Execration. Everybody is here except for the Death Prophet. Not sure if they want to take this fight if they're not in full strength.
Both teams are playing so well. They're actually playing so well. Look at the
Fnatic going
positioning
under
of
the vision.
Execration.
Execration rolling in. There's the jump in. Shanks, they've got the Fiend Script on Lesh as well. Jabs is going to blow up. And Armel charging in as well. But he's not going to do much here. He's got the Ghost Scepter now into the BKB. But it's a 4 versus 4 fight because Shanks has been taken down by DJ. There's the Requiem. They walked into it, but it's a disengaging one. Raven keeps them away.
Such a good start to the fight for Execration, and ultimately you could argue that they won it, but the way that it started, it could have gone better. Now without the Sanity's Eclipse, next fight is not gonna go your way, and the next Roche is spawning, so it's a problem for Execration. They have to delay this somehow.
No grip either, making it a very difficult brawl for them. At least they have the TA with BKB who can at least create some chaos in the ranks of Fnatic. At the same time, you are right, this Roshan is going to be a bit of a difficulty for Execration. If they decide to go for it for the time being, they're just waiting to regroup.
They have to delay it. If they lose this Roche, it is a problem. The Roche of Fnatic is actually decent with the minus armor and of course the pure damage of the Diabolic Edict. It is not that hard for them to take. And you can see Raven, he really wants it with a 9-second BKB and no Sanity's Eclipse to blow up him or anyone else that gets caught. It should be an easy one for Fnatic. Let's see what Execration can do about it.
Actually should be, yeah. They are doing some poke.
Surrender.
Onto Roche, dropping him down by 2,000 HP. Just not quite feeling comfortable with the situation of Execration hanging around the vicinity of this Roche pit, even with a couple members, so they're going to fall for a bit of a call. And the lanes are being pushed. Like, Bob is keeping this pressure up in the bottom lane. Very nicely done with the OD. Having the nimbleness. It's either him or Palos who's constantly pushing the bottom wave in.
I like that Bob didn't go for the BKB. He is confident in his abilities to stay in a good position. When the enemies have their BKBs, you wouldn't be able to do anything. And when they don't, they pretty much have to run away from you. So Bob, if he continues to have good positioning in fights, he literally does not need the BKB.
Fnatic is thinking about taking this Roche this time with full strength, and Shanks is right outside of it. Doesn't see anything, but he's suggesting something is wrong. Something is very terribly wrong. The trap's not even close enough. Roche down to 3,000 HP. They're hanging around in the area, but this Roche is already gone. That is going to be the shard, and the Aegis going in favor for Fnatic.
Could be one of the reasons Execration picked this OD is that they saw they were maybe gonna be losing Roches. And having a TA, you need another very strong late game hero. And that might be the reason that they went for the OD, because you could see how easily Fnatic took the first and the second Roche. And pretty much when the TA doesn't get first and the second Roche, the hero loses. But in this game, it doesn't seem to be the case because the OD can do a lot of work as the game progresses.
Execration stacking up for a top tower push. as Fnatic is just looking to move 2 lanes towards Execration space. Armel does end up using his Pulverize just to destroy a creep wave, and Tino's going to be interrupting it. There's also a trap. Majority of that creep wave is going to die, but the rest of them keep on rolling forward. Meanwhile, Raven is going to get the sidekick buff, and this SF is absolutely ridiculous with this tower damage.
The problem is when SF gets a Scotty against 3 ranged cores on the side of Execration, he will crush them. And he's pretty much on steroids with the Heavenly Grace and the Guardian Angel. It's definitely going to be up to Bob to keep his heroes alive during the BKB of Raven and then kill this SF, because if the SF is live, especially once the Scotty comes out, it's going to be a problem.
Manta for the push by Raven, won't be able to dispel. And we get a couple of hits onto the tower. That's quick 700 damage already dealt. 600 to 700. Very early on, and now pushing out the waves out from mids. They might have to defend this top tier 2. Execration is smoking up onto Armel. And they might just catch the Primal Beast off guard. There's a Radiant scan. They're on the edge of the scan, so they don't see anybody walking in. And Fnatic, are they feeling confident about it?
Execration were a couple of seconds too late with that smoke. If they were even faster, they might have been able to catch Armel.
Might still get the chance for it because Palos is coming. Abeng's got the grab. There's the Grace. Can't just Fiend script him because the Omni Knight is here. The Savior. Januel.
Yeah, Execration, they have to wait. They cannot cross the line towards their triangle. They cannot cross to that part of the map, but ideally they would want to. The problem lies in that you're waiting for the Aegis to do it, but then you're gonna be facing a Scotty, which is maybe even worse for you than the Aegis itself.
High ground push again. Jabs Armel. Raven, there's no glyph this time to save it. Tier 3 is just melting and it's gone already. Execration, they need to make a quick move if they're going to do something, but they don't have to TP. TP's only just TP back home. Raven already finishing off the melee. Raxi dropping very low. Shanks looking for the angle. Tino with the silence. There's the rolling coming in from Shanks, and that's going to be the initiation. Palos is targeting the Primal Beast illusion out of all things, and Armel, he's fine and safe here in the tree line. Nothing worries him. The disarm onto the SF. He needs one more hit to get it, and there we go. The charge in onto the DP. The charge coming in as well from Shanks with the roll with the BKB popped as well. Jonas going to get silenced. Arma's going to have to pop his as well. Raven taking a lot of damage. Bob still hanging to the back line. DJ is going to be the one targeted by the Fiend script as he's going through the back line trying to catch the Bob. OD. The Aegis has popped. The Bane is down. Tino's dropping pretty low as well. He's got the exorcism to do a lot of work. The prison save is coming in as well. Armel is still there. Januel's going to be falling. Armel's going to go down as well. Execration cleaning out. They're going to take down 4. And now it's just Raven versus the world. 1 versus 4 is all this SF has remaining. He's trying to TP home, and he will be able to just before the BKB runs out. And Execration, they get the hold despite losing the tier 3, but the melee is still up. It was 1 hit away from falling.
Man, that is so big for Execration. This is the timing that they were looking for. That Nullifier and the TA changing a lot with the Omni ulti, just not saving those initial targets. And then when the Guardian Angel was already used and the Aegis was down, before SF came, all of the heroes of Fnatic got super low. That was just a beautiful executed fight coming out from Execration, and it all started with a kickback on Shanks. Very ballsy move. Some teams would just let their axes go and fight when there was no Aegis, but Execration, they knew with the Nullifier this was their timing. They struck and they won a fight.
That all started off with a Primal Beast illusion tanking the nullifiers and all of the hits from TA thinking, yep, this is the right one. Nope, that's just an illusion, and still getting success at the team fight after. DJ was so close to getting to tossing the OD, but Abeng is focusing this Marcy like mad.
Yeah, every single time he sees the jump, he's either using the sleep or the Fiend's grip, and DJ is literally being caught in air every single time in this game. Just beautifully done by Abeng.
Stand-in doing a lot of heavy lifting here for Execration as Vincenzo, who's been sitting out Abeng today. He's been a part of the 2 victories for Execration earlier on today, and now looking to take another point for the team. Very important points up for grabs. Armel is going to get nightmared in the river, but it's also a pretty difficult target to jump on. 3000 HP to try and burst through with Fnatic having all these gap closer abilities and heroes on the team.
Itemization for Execration is perfect. Tino, he went for his, early BKB, then Heaven Celebrate. You know the SF is the main damage dealer when you pop your BKB. You disarm him, he does nothing. Bob realizes he doesn't need the BKB, now goes for the Hex. He's just keeping himself in a good position and is there to burst down a hero.
And the Swift
Execration, yeah, they're doing everything right. It is just beautiful what they're doing. And then Nullifar, of course, and now they go for smoke because they know that they're stronger.
See what they can get with this smoke. They've already shown the OD in the top lane, but the rest of the gang squad is going to be moving in. Shanks rolls onto the cliff here. There's a ward. Raven, perfect target to go for. Abeng will get the Nightmare. Taken away with the Lotus Orb. And that is the smoke gang. Basically watering down with that. You get the vision away from the triangle, but more vision applied by Fnatic. Do they have any ops wards in stock? No, they don't.
Just as Execration are itemizing well, so are Fnatic. And the Lotus Orbs, every single one of those purge items that Fnatic have, the Guardian Greaves, the Lotus Orb is going to be big. And yeah, there's a smoke. Fnatic are in a good position.
He's already TPing in. This could be a good timing for him. DJ right in front, popping all the smokes, and now going to get spotted by the trap. The silence is going to fly in. The Fiend Script lead. The Lotus Orb isn't going to be there in time, but the Armel now charging in. They don't even have to worry about the Bane anymore because he's done his job. Palos, heavy damage onto the Primal Beast. Tino charging in as well with the TP. They're going to be taking down Palos. They're going to take down Armel for Palos, and now Listrak is just completely disarmed. Not enough damage. They're going to lose the Omni Knight. Execration, take the tower, take the fight, take everything. They murder the entire Fnatic team. SF is running, hiding, cowering, trying to get a quick escape out from his own base. And Execration is going to score a lane of racks at least.
If you can't catch the OD, it is just impossible for Fnatic to fight. And given that Execration are the ones going forward, their positioning is always gonna be great, at least on Bob. It's easy. Let your guys do the work, and you're there for the save if need be. Here, it wasn't even needed.
Everything going in favor for Execration. That was a good attempt with the Lotus Orb to try and save DJ from the Fiend Script, but it got broken. Well, he got broken. The Lotus Orb was just a tiny bit too late. And the Bane got his full duration through. And now trying to save the lane here. Radiant creeps are going to finish off the range racks. And the melee is rather low. So AI is doing some work for Fnatic.
Oh, what a game of timings, really. Fnatic just, slightly off. And Execration, they got all of their timings just in time to defend that bottom racks. And now they're the ones ahead, even though Fnatic were winning for the majority of the game. And they have to change it now, because with the next Roche Execration, they end the game.
8 seconds. They might have spotted somebody on the cliff as the smoke popped. The rest of Fnatic don't walk into the Roche pit, and Roche is now alive. TA trap to show it. Fnatic, they don't know it. Palos showing himself on the other side of the river, and now it is actually Fnatic being fearful for their lives.
They should be. They definitely should be. This is looking like a game that is easy for Execration to close out, so it's up to Fnatic to make something happen. Oh, that could have been an opening.
Potentially, yeah. The Haste Rune is recovered by the TA. Raven on the other side. They're trying to play a bait on Armel here. It's a bit obvious, though. Trying to charge away Palos. Nullifar coming in as well. Shadow Fiend does get to show himself. And Palos was right next to him. Quick Manta, get the heck out of there. Armel. Jabs. What can they do here? Abeng is an issue, but Bob is an even bigger issue. They're going to go into the pit. Look at the damage on this Roche. That's 400 to 500 hits per every Astral Orb by Bob, and this is Fnatic going to be a tiny bit too late. They're not going to get there in time. Roche give it away, and here comes the charge in. This is perfect for Execration. Raven going in for the Requiem is going to connect onto 2. They're going to look for Shanks, but the BKB trying to roll out. It will be successful to do so. Tino in the middle of the Exorcism running about as Armel. They're trying to trample this DP, but the damage is just not sufficient enough, and Palos is taking control. He's taking charge. Bane is dying as DJ is finishing off one one hero
Three
on the
versus
back
one.
line. Maybe he can do even more as DJ finally falls to Bob. Raven getting absolutely hammered. Palos and Tino taking him down. Buyback coming in from DJ. Wants to take Tino in control. There's another lift coming in. He's down to 100 HP. The hammer, the double hammer. Bob will take the Ultra. He's killing everyone inside the base. They will look for Shanks. And the building's falling as Palos is there. But holy damn, Bob unleashes hell.
So many things happening in that fight while they were going forward with Tino and Palos in the backline. DJ was fighting 3, but he couldn't go for the OD. He went for the Bane, and the OD surviving. It's just gonna make sure that you win the fight. And look at Palos.
Old school,
That's
old school
the real
bait.
assassin.
Old school bait. Old school lane bait. The
Come on,
patience,
come on.
the patience play. Januel, can he wipe him out? 1, 2, 3. There's the nullifier. He's not going to do enough damage
gives
to
a lot of hit.
instantly remove him, and actually has to blink away to safety as Armel is coming in as well. Oh, it almost worked. It almost worked. The old school assassin hiding in the lane where you don't expect him to do it. Such a pub trick. And Fnatic almost fell for it.
Yeah, but Juno has 20 armor, you know, that is always gonna help. Plus the Lotus Orb and really the Omni Knight. It seems like his life wasn't in jeopardy, but very nice attempted play from Palos. I think it's also nice to know kind of the limits of how much damage he can do. This game he went for a nullifier, not for a crit, so obviously he's gonna be lacking a little bit in the damage department in terms of killing the heroes himself. But with the nullifier, he's definitely allowing the Death Prophet to do the damage as well. And even some of those right clicks coming out from their supports, it can add up, killing that first hero, and that is how Execration they need to start the fight, by being able to jump in and get a kill. But on another note, they got the Roche. Usually after that one you have to run away, but they even found an angle to win the fight, force out so many buybacks, and right now Fnatic are one fight away from losing the entire thing.
Now that's the Daedalus as well, ready for Palos. Even more damage for the TA to provide for these team fights and the crits. Only ill news for Fnatic. Shadow Fiend wants to build a Silver Edge. Primal Beast wants Scotty. Leshrac getting that shard ready. Marcy Basher only now, but at least that BKB Basher for DJ will allow him to fight the Bane. Maybe even fight Bob a little bit at the back line. Just like we saw in that fight you were talking about as well. We were quickly taking a glimpse at it as he was just battling 1 versus 2. While the rest were diving high ground. Illusion Rune fight. Raven walking in with the Lotus Orb. Silence comes flying through. Dodge on the Meld Strike.
The biggest item I can see that might change something for Fnatic is the Basher on DJ. He needs to jump Bob, and Bob needs to die. Of course, the problem lies in that the Bane Sleep can always save Bob, but it is a play that you have to make. There is no doubt about it. This OD, if Bob is alive, you're not going to win a fight, because no one on the side of Execration is going to die.
He sees Armel. Is Armel going to get to safety in time? Looks like he will. Blinking into the trees as he cuts the wave. Almost perfect timing there for Execration, or at least for Bob to catch him in the lane. There's always a chance that you can force a BKB off of a hero spotted in a lane, and then you stack up for a fight and know that big defensive ability is missing. Armel, is he buying out his Lincolns? He is buying out his Lincolns. He's got no buyback. There's 5 buybacks for Execration. There's 0 for Fnatic. 10 versus 5.
They want to get into the backlines and not get Fiend's Gripped. That is the reasoning behind it. They know without the Lincolns they can't really fight, and they don't have too many buybacks anyway, so you know, if you lose a fight, you're probably out of it.
This Rex Shard is making it hard for the push, but it is still going through. Palos in the front with these refractions, still getting stunned up. Jabs throwing in more of these explosions in front of the stairs. Melee is staying up for the time being. This is very difficult, but now with the Exorcism, it's go time. And Shanks with the roll-in. There's the Lincoln's pop on the Leshrac, and they can't quite get him. DJ gets the jump out at the same time. Bob, he's going to get the Marcy, but he can't even save his teammate. Armel jumping onto the backline, trying to look for the Bane, but the Bane still got the Beast Grip alive. BKB on Palos, and as well a Raven. There's a Requiem coming in. He's going to be fearing up the DP. Tino's going to be losing his life. He's got the cheese, but he can't get to use it. They keep all heroes alive on Fnatic. No buybacks required on their side. They force Shanks. And Bane can't afford his. So now 5 buybacks turning into 3 for the time being. Fnatic hold. They smoke up.
Execration, they didn't have patience, but now Fnatic, that is a really big smoke, a really fast one at that as well.
Looking up for mid, they see Raven, they see Armor just on top of him as well, but he couldn't get the catch. Too fast. Too fast to be caught. Fnatic taking the other side of the map now. They have to keep an eye open on the base as well because of the mid and the bot waves. Mid is pushed out at least, but Bob shows in bottom, and Palos is shown in mid, and Armo's going to be grabbing him, pulverizing, and throwing him down to the ground. Disarmed as well, and nothing this TA can do to survive. Now it's up to Fnatic. What do they do? Because Execration's already cutting waves and pushing bottom.
Oh, Fnatic are pushing back. Those Lesh stuns in the base, they were the thing that made the Execration impatient, and that's why they went in. You make one mistake by going a little bit too deep, and Fnatic, they punish you immediately by a kill on Palace in the mid lane. I think Fnatic even expected only to push out the wave so that they can play Dota, because this mid lane is constantly in their base, but getting a Palace kill, they're gonna be even more happy with that one, and he might even have to buy back and give a win condition to Fnatic.
That will be another buyback out of the list. Fnatic are getting theirs back up. Primal Beast and Lesh. Both Armel and Jabs, they have theirs now. But Tier 3 is taking a lot of damage. Waiting with these Lotus Hopes. Armel, he's charging on Tino. Blink charge to poke him a little bit. Trying to get a reaction. Bob charging in, and there's the BKB of the Lincolns is already there. Shanks rolling in. Shanks gonna get the kick onto DJ. DJ's gonna be script up, but it's cancelled right away. The hammers are falling. Shanks is down. That's a dieback. That's a dieback on the Earth Spirit. Now Tino in trouble as well. He's gonna get slowed up by a lot. Jabs is right there. Raven throwing in the right clicks. Bob coming in with the BKB, looking for an angle, but he's got nothing left to give. He's got a sheep stick. At least he's gonna wait for it. But the Requiem, Armel's gonna be grabbing Bob. Bob is smashed down to the ground. He's gonna buy back up as well. And they're not coming back with the TA because he's returning in 6 seconds. He will keep his buyback up, but that's a lane of racks taken. Fnatic on the disengage. Armel trying to go for the TP. The Lincoln saves his life.
Oh, that feels so bad for Execration. They just wanted to save Palos buyback, then let go of those Raxes, but they wanted everything, and the greed will be punished. Fnatic, what a move, understanding that this is their time, and this butterfly on the SF changing so much. No MKB on the TA, no MKB on the OD. He's not even going to be getting that one. It's almost impossible for them to fight Raven. It seems like they have fought through the timing of Execration, and just one slight mistake, it will give Fnatic the advantage, and they want to end it
right now. They got the stun on the TA, but they don't know about it yet. He's going to get stunned again. He just manages to get out from the slows and doesn't get stunned up by Armel. Gonna be pushing Tino on the low ground. Tino, though, buyback on this guy. The OD will buy back, but they've just lost the DP for 110 seconds, and Fnatic, they are in the driver's seat right now. It's a 5 versus 3 scenario. They're gonna get the Earth Spirit up. Shanks is gonna be respawning right now, but the push is still going. Raven in the front. He's taking a heavy amount of damage as well from Palos, so they are gonna retreat for the time being. They have forced out from a 5 versus 10 scenario. They've got 3 buybacks off of Execration. Raven is so close to the 25 talent as well. Not that it's gonna really matter much because his right clicks are the ones doing a lot of work here. But the raises will also apply his right-click damage now. Palos in front. They don't have wards on the high ground. They don't see. They are blind right now. Armel only needs one good read for Palos. He sees him, and there we go. Does he get him? The Travos is there. Doesn't quite get the pulverize, though. Another stun from Lesh with the shard. Is going to be connected. E-Blade being popped as well. Range racks falling. Melee only up, and that's going to be mega creeps after that.
They're creating space for Axis.
Shanks is going in. He's going to roll it. He's going to get the connection, but Shanks is all by himself. He's going to need some backup right now. He does. The BKB allows him to walk back onto the high ground. Jabs on the low ground, continuing to stun Palos. Abeng, he's got that Fiend script. They're going to spot him. Armel losing his life at Palos. Palos going to take it. Bane's living with Bob throwing in the saving bubble. The prison is there, and the BKBs are still up, and the hammer on this OD. The racks remain as they lose Armel, but they keep the Bane alive with only less than 5% HP.
the next Roche is the thing that can decide this game. And Execration, they have all 5 of their heroes. This is the time for them. There is, of course, the Boots of Travel on the Primal Beast, but he's gonna need some time to come back. Execration, they should just confidently run in, and that's exactly what they're doing. Palos leading the charge.
Swift blink for the movement speed, and the smoke is popped as he moves into mid, but the rest of the lads, Bang goes for the D-Ward, tries to take Fnatic's vision away. They're blind right now. They see nothing. They see absolutely nothing. There's the gem inside the pit as well, but they're not going to do much with it. Execration looking to take area under their control. They also see the trap here, so they see the couriers moving in. Other side of Roche now, and these shards, these splits. Too much to deal with.
Yeah, Execration, they need to be confident in them going in, because when Fnatic decide where they're gonna fight, the split earths are gonna allow them to win it every single time, even if the OD is alive.
This game has gone from 71% for Fnatic to 82% for Execration to 85% of Fnatic. And Shanks is gonna roll in, but he hits an illusion in between. Tino going with the exorcism. This is go time. This is the fight. This is the last fight. The hammer is dropped down. Johnny will gonna be killed, but they're gonna look for the OD. OD looking for a little bit. DJ also fighting against the OD, and the prison coming out as well. The Requiem is there, but Fnatic is gonna have to buy back with a lot of heroes to be able to keep this fight going. They're gonna take down Bob. Bob's already killed up by Armel. They got the E play, slowing down Tino. Tino's gonna get pummeled and pulverized. Bang, no fee script. Shanks coming in, looking for the stun to connect, but Raven is standing his ground. Shadow Fiend is driving them away, and they're gonna lose the DP to Jabs. Shanks is the next one to get pummeled over, and Execration have lost control of this game. It is Fnatic. Their mega creeps inside, well, not the megas, but the super creeps inside the base, but that's Roche, and that's probably game, Harry.
Yeah, it probably is Execration. I like that they went in. I was like, they have to bail, but no, 4 versus 5 against the Aegis. You're not gonna win. Just go in, fight till the end. That's exactly what they did. But the death will come their way. Either way, this SF way too strong.
3-3 trade, but Fnatic has the buybacks that Execration doesn't. And it's a 5 versus 2. Fnatic making their way towards the base. They're going to clear out the mega creeps at first as this creep wave is arriving from the mid lane, but they've already got creeps inside. Palos trying to poke with Raven, can only do so much. 6 seconds for another refraction. Melee racks down. Mega creeps is a certainty. And now to the tier 4 towers. Fnatic only so close to finishing this game. 20 seconds for Shanks to be up. 25 seconds for the DP. This Glyph is only going to buy a couple seconds. Armel going to go straight to the TA. Palos, he does have a buyback, but he needs to buy back right now. And Bane is falling next. Bane is down. TA's down. 7 seconds for Shanks to return. And Fnatic are going for the tier 4 towers right away. They've already finished one. They're working their way towards the second. And this is looking like Execration has to tap out of this one. Jonuel is being targeted by Palos. Shanks with the charge, and Ancient is being ignored for now. They're going to lose the Omni Knight, but they're going to lose the TA, and they're going to lose the game. Fnatic is scoring victories, one after the other, one after the other.
They are not giving up.
Cancel the break. The charge from Earth Spirit's not going to work out, and the Ancient down to 3k HP as DP, Tino, Bob drop the hammer for the first time, looking for the second. Japs is down, another prison. Ancient down to 1500. Marcy falling. Marcy is down. Raven has to do the impossible with 1000 HP remaining. 500, 400, 300, 200. He's got it. That is game.
You could definitely see the impact of the OD they're lacking in the fight for Execration. Bob was their main hero for the majority of the game, pretty much for the entirety of the game, and whenever they catch the OD, it is just done. Him jumping in, if you remember, around the Roche pit, him jumping in on the high ground, getting the kill on Juno, but dying in the process is never a worthy trade, and now you could see him not being in the fight. As soon as he comes back, Fnatic start losing, but it was already too late. But I have to say, both Fnatic and Execration, they played some really good Dota. Slight mistakes here and there, but it is the enemy team that always capitalizes on them that shows just how great they are. Though for Fnatic, we knew. For Execration, they're looking better by the day.
They are. Like, this turned out to be a massive ending as well. Raven peaked on 25,000 building damage at the end of the game. That's probably one of the biggest numbers we've seen in the tournament so far, but it is worthy for them as Fnatic did get that Shadow Fiend peak. He hit that level 25 talent as well at these final fights, but man, what an absolute brawl from both of these. And Bob with those triple hammer drops with the refresher shards and all inside the base of Fnatic. Man, this game had pretty much everything, and it's going to be hard to top that one, Harry. But I think this is a good time to take a break here. With T-Panda here in the commentary, we'll take one final break until we finish out the day. So don't disappear anywhere. We've got more hype to come.